2025 was the year you thought about it, then 2026 has to be the year you execute it. Not the year you plan more, not the year you research more, and not the year you work on yourself. The year you actually move. The year you finally see the results from all the work you do. The year that you finally get to say, I did it, instead of, I want to do this. Procrastination has so many underlying layers as to why we do it, why we delay our future. But today I'm going to give you the blueprint on how to stop doing that. I'm going to give you the blueprint, not just a pep talk, but structure you can follow all year long so procrastination doesn't continue to ruin your life again for this year. Procrastination wins when goals are vague, your systems are emotional, your days are unstructured, and your identity is undecided. When you have all of these factors come into place, it is no wonder why you procrastinate. Because you're going off of the vibes, you're going off of your emotions, you're going off of feeling, you're going off of what is today feel, what do I feel like doing today? You take your goals as if it's a hobby and not the thing that you want for life. Because hobbies, you pick them up and you put them away every once in a while. It's not something that you go to every single day. It's a hobby. You just get to it when you get to it. You treat your goals as if they were hobbies. You treat your goals as if it's an optional thing. And that is why you continue to procrastinate, because you don't see your goals as any more than just something written on a piece of paper, some pretty picture on a board, some vision in your head. You don't see it as this thing that could actually manifest, this thing that could actually change your mind, this thing that you can actually make come true if you choose to produce, if you choose to execute, if you choose to show up for yourself. But you don't do that. And there's obviously the emotional part of it, of like, I feel scared, I feel like it's not gonna be perfect, I don't feel good enough, blah blah blah. And then there's also the other side of it. The goals are vague. You don't know what you're going after. Your systems are just out of whack. Your days are you just wake up whenever you feel like, and you just decide what you want to do that day instead of having a structured plan. Or maybe you just don't know what it is that you want for your future. These things can really factor in whether or not you're going to be consistent, whether or not you're going to be disciplined, whether or not you're going to procrastinate. So execution wins when goals are clear, your systems are boring, and we'll get to that, your days are structured, and your identity is firm. This is not a try harder plan. This is a whole redesign that we are going to do today. So if you guys are new here, my name is Geraldine and I make videos all about goal setting, productivity, and procrastination. So if that's the type of content you'd love to consume, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Geraldine Silva. Okay, so let's get to part 1, which is stop treating procrastination like laziness, because we all know procrastination is not lazy. It's not laziness. It's emotional avoidance. You're avoiding something emotionally that's going on inside of you that you are not dealing with. You are choosing to look away because that's all you've ever known to do. You've always chosen to look the other way, to run away, to avoid your emotions, instead of looking within and trying to decide what is going on in me that I am wanting to procrastinate yet again. Even though this thing that I have to do is so important, it's literally due tonight, it's literally due tomorrow, I can't wear the clothes that I want to wear because I've just been eating like a mad woman. I can't ever consistently upload because I'm scared to talk to a camera. Procrastinate when the task feels overwhelming. You're afraid of failing. You're afraid of succeeding, or you don't know the next step. I like to see procrastination as a way to tell me, what am I lacking? Because if this was easy, it would have already been done. Just think about it. If cleaning the dishes or studying or writing a book or cleaning out your closet or deleting all the stuff on your laptop, if all of this was just so easy to do within like one push of a button and you could get it done, it would be done. Do you think you procrastinate scrolling? No, it's easy and it's fun, but it's super easy. One swipe of a finger and you're already on to the next video. So if something was easy, it would have already been done. I wouldn't have to procrastinate until the next day. I wouldn't have to wait until the very last minute to do something. But these things are hard. These things are difficult. And there's something there that's making it hard. There's something there that's making it difficult. Because let's say someone gave you 2 pieces of paper, and on each piece of paper there is a test, and the test is on one paper, it's just basic kindergarten math where you're just identifying the numbers, while the other piece of paper is high school math. Let's say it's like, I don't know, algebra or something, and they say pick and choose which test do you want to take, and you're mandated to take it for whatever reason. The government says you have to take it. Which test are you going to take? Obviously the kindergarten one, right? Because it's just so freaking easy. You're just going to get it done and get it over with. But if they said you have to do the algebra one, how long do you think you'll procrastinate until you have to do it? You'll probably procrastinate it until the very last second, until you have to turn it in. Why? Because it's hard. There's difficult. Maybe you don't know algebra. Maybe you don't understand the questions. Like, if it was the kindergarten one, you could probably do it right then and there and just be like, here, hand it back. But if it's the algebra one, you're going to take a lot longer to want to finish it, because it's going to take a lot longer for you to learn it. And I think that is the problem we show up today, is that we don't have the patience like we used to sit there and learn something, nor do we even know where to start when it comes to learning something, because you don't know what you don't know. So I like to look at procrastination as, what am I lacking? So I look at the strengths that I have. I'm like, okay, when it comes to content creation, right? I'm very good at like writing my scripts now, very good at filming and editing and uploading. And then there's something about thumbnails that I just can't grasp. Writing my captions, there's just something I can't grasp. Even editing, I keep my videos super simple, but I would love to have like really cute edits and stuff. Like, I see YouTubers have amazing edits, but I just don't have that skill. So I like to see procrastination as a way to see what I am lacking. What am I lacking currently that is causing me to avoid this task, to avoid studying, to avoid filming, to avoid whatever, right? Is it the lack of skills? Is it the lack of knowledge? Is it the fear of unknown? When I pinpoint the pain point, then I can come up with a plan to attack this feeling. It is about learning how to get in tune with your feelings and emotions, because they tell you a lot more than you may think. So zone in on what exactly are you avoiding. If it's the lack of skills, well, maybe there's a video that you can look up, a person you can pay for those skills? Is there a class you can attend? If it's a lack of knowledge, is there a book you can read? A Google search that can have your answers? Or maybe even ChatGPT what it is that you're trying to look for, and it could give you like a really fast summary of what you need to know. If it is the fear of unknown, then what I like to do is I like to write down all of my scenarios and then start to play the possibility game. What if it's not good enough? What if I look like a fool? What if it doesn't look good? And actually ask yourself, is this a good enough reason to never go after your goals? If it is great, stop and never look back and don't regret your choice. But if it's not, then why are you letting it be your choice? If you actually don't think that you're not good enough, and that's not the reason why like you're stopping, if feeling like you're not good enough is not a good enough reason to not go after your goals, then there's something you can always figure out what it is that you lack. There's something you can always lack. You can always figure out what you lack. And the thing about the fear of unknown is that the more that you do it, the more that you know about it. It's like meeting a stranger or going on a date, right? When you're dating someone, you don't know anything about them. You go on more and more dates trying to get to know this person, and the next thing you know, you're 5 years in, and you're like, wow, I completely know this person. Like I don't know where I was before him or before this person or whatever, right? You get to know the ins and out of that person. So it's not as strange anymore. There isn't a fear of unknown because you know this person. You can predict their actions. You can probably predict what they think. You could probably predict what their password on their phone will be based on everything you know. So having the fear of unknown is that you just don't have enough data to know what comes next. But the more that you do it, then you start tracking all that mental data. Like for me in these videos, I'm like, I know I'm not getting like 1 million views, so I can't expect that this next video is gonna have that. I definitely want that, but what's the probability of that actually happening? I don't know. Depends on like the thumbnail, and I guess depends on the title, like depends on how many clicks I get. So I can't, based on my own data that I've seen from my own videos, it's gonna take me a while before I get the ball rolling. But that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna keep taking data of like, okay, well, this video didn't do good because of this reason, but maybe if I do this, it will gain more traction. So it's not that you're not good enough, it's that you just don't have enough data to know what is good. You can't base it off of something that you have no idea, that you have no experience in. The thing about procrastination is that we want to be clear. That is the name of the game. When you're clear and you know what to expect, when you're clear and simple on what you need to do, what the physical action is, then there's no chance to delay it. So to eliminate procrastination faster, it is to gain clarity on why you even have it in the first place. It's to gain clarity on why you even have procrastination in the first place. Why are you procrastinating? Like I said, is it the lack of knowledge? Is it the fear of unknown? Is it the lack of skills? And then figuring out a way to combat that. And you kind of learn how to be your own detective on what is currently stopping you from going after your goals. So, okay, let's go to part 2. So the 4-part anti-procrastination system. This is your blueprint structure that I'm about to give you. So get out your notes, get out your pieces and papers, people. This is going to be a good portion of the video. Jam-packed, informative part of this video. So pillar number 1, define 3 core goals for the year. Not 12, not 20, 3. People make the mistake of having more goals. People make the mistake of confusing having so many goals and thinking that everything is a goal, when in reality, some things are hobbies and some things are goals. So when you make a vision board, right? If you made a vision board for this year, some people like to put things like, I want to learn Japanese. I want to read more this year. I want to have clear skin. Well, that is a goal. But I want to read more. I want to learn how to sew. Those things I like to consider as hobbies. They're not goals. Okay. Let me backtrack. The main difference between a goal and a hobby is that a hobby is meant to be fun. A hobby is meant to kind of help you refresh, reset your mindset and bring you back to peace. When you are having such a stressful life, when you go to read, or when you go to sew, or when you go to crochet, or when you go to some club that you just love to do, it kind of brings you back to this like zone, this like Zen situation. Like you feel grounded, you feel refreshed, you can come back and just like hit the next week like really nice. I like to split up my vision board in that way, where I have my hobbies and there is no pressure. That is the main thing. There is no pressure of having to do these hobbies on the daily basis, because these hobbies, again, are meant to be fun and are meant to be done whenever you have extra time, like on the weekends, right? Or like once a month kind of thing. They're not meant to be something that you do every single day and is like the thing that's going to change your life, the thing that you want to have for the rest of your life. Like reading more, if that is like your top priority, like you just want to be really freaking smart and that is your goal, then great, cool, that is your goal. But if reading more is more of like a habit that you want to just pick up for the year, then it shouldn't be a pressured thing that you have to get done. And what people tend to do is that they already have limited amount of time as they do already. Then they have the problem of procrastinating. And then they add a million and zillion things on a to-do list that they cannot get to all of it all at once. What I want you to do is I want you to decide what is a hobby and what is your goals. If you've already made a vision board, take a look at your vision board. Decide what are your hobbies and what is going to be your goals for this year. And I say define 3 of them. 3 of them as your main goals, because I know we all have goals for this year, right? I want to have long hair, I want to have clear skin, I want to lose some weight, I want to pay off debt, I want to have my own business, I want to have a content creation life. Like, we all have a million bajillion goals that we would all love to have, but everything comes in a season. So if you can handle it, I would like for you to pick 3. If you can just be realistic with yourself and all you can do is probably just have one main goal, like this is the goal. If by the end of the year I know how to speak fluent Japanese, I would be freaking happy with myself. Or if I were to just get straight A's for one freaking semester this year, I would be so happy with myself. What is one thing that if you were to get done at the end of this year, you would literally yelp in an excitement for yourself? What would make you the happiest person in the world if you were to accomplish it this year? For me, it's hitting 1,000 subscribers from YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed and you're liking this video, please help me with my goal. So pick one thing, 1 to 3 things that you're going to focus on. Everything else can be a hobby and can be implemented at any point, at any week, and It's not something you're going to pressure yourself to do all the freaking time. Once you decide on these goals, like I said, pick 3 or 1 on what are you going to work on a consistent basis. So what is the 1 or 3 things you are going to put all your time and energy into? So pillar number 2, weekly execution blocks. So once you have your 1 to 3 main goals, it is time to start scheduling and building out your systems. Because when you have a system in place and you know what you need to do, it is so much more easier not to procrastinate. So stop scheduling tasks randomly and stop doing random things every time. You can't build muscle when every week you're using different machines. You can't build an audience online when every week you're switching up on which app you're uploading on or what you are uploading. The more clear you can get with yourself, the better you can show up for yourself. So let's create our schedule. So we're going to create daily reoccurring execution blocks. We're going to put it at the same time. You're going to include the same location, and you're going to include the same expectation. So these daily execution blocks are going to be stamped blocks in your schedule where it is not going to move. I don't care what else is going on in your life. I mean, I guess if like something is just like becomes even more of a priority than getting your goals done, fine. But these are things that nothing else is going to interfere. Okay, your scrolling is not going to interfere with this blocked time. This time is not going to move. So for example, to make it simple, walking 30 minutes Monday through Sunday at the park, 1 mile at 5 p.m. We have a location at the park. We have the time at 5 p.m. We have the expectation, walking 1 mile. All of this just makes it so clear. And like I said, the system is boring. Like, if it's so easy to understand. If I were to tell you this is what you're going to do every single day, you would know exactly what to do. And the thought process is easy, but it's boring. The system is boring. And that's how you know you have a good system. When the system is so boring, when the system is so clear and it's simple, that's when you know you've got a good system down. Because when you make things a lot more complicated, then it's going to be easier for you to want to procrastinate because there's more hurdles to get through it. But when you have something like this where it's just as simple to digest in your brain, the only thing that could trigger that procrastination is just your will to not do it. It can't be, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what to expect. I have the fear of the unknown. I feel like it's not good enough for myself. This is easy. This is easy to understand. You just don't have the willpower to do it. This is all on you now. This all falls on you. There is nothing else to blame but your own willpower. Clearly you don't want it. Clearly you don't want to be skinny. Clearly you don't want to have straight A's. Clearly you don't want to be a business owner. And that is when, like I said, you need to come to the reality of, is your feeling of not wanting to do it good enough to never go after your goals again? If it is, if you feeling like I just don't want to do it, then okay, cool. Don't speak about it again. You've made your choice, and that's that. Or you can just simply show up. The system is simple. You just don't want to show up for it. Because I've broken it down for you. I've made it simple enough for you to understand. There's a clear expectation there of what I want you to do. There's something super measurable there. Once you know you've hit a mile, you're good to go home. Once it's 5 o'clock, you know you gotta go walking. You know what exactly you have to do. You're gonna get to the park and you're gonna be like, what do I do? You walk. You walk for 30 minutes. You walk for 30 minutes or you hit the mile, whatever it is. It's so simple. But you just don't have the willpower to do it. So here's another example of just a simple system. Write one filming script for 1 hour, Monday through Sunday, at my house at 5 a.m. Simple. So, depending on your procrastination level, you can make things a little bit more spicier, right? Because like I said, these are going to get boring over time. And that's the good thing, is that boring means it's going to get done. Boring means that it's going to get done. But if you want to get just like a tad bit more spicier with your week, then you can write Monday, Wednesday, Friday, film. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, script. Sunday, edit and upload for upcoming week. Or you can exchange this for the gym. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, strength training. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Pilates. Sunday, cardio. You can get spicier with it once you're kind of, in the momentum of the things. I don't recommend doing the little spicier one, especially if you're just starting off on learning how not to procrastinate. So I would recommend doing the simpler one for quite a while, and then moving on to the little bit more spicier one, because that's where I'm at. I can do the little spicy schedule. It doesn't have to look so like consistent every week or every day. So pillar number 3, the 48 reset rule. You are not allowed to miss one day. You are allowed to miss one day. Once you're kind of in the zone of things, you are allowed to miss one day. What you are not allowed to do is miss twice in a row. If you skip, you reset within 48 hours. So no emotional spirals, no I'll start next week or I'll start next month. No dramatic identity crisis. Because consistency is not perfection. We don't want to be perfect. But consistency is learning how to be fast on your correction. If you miss a day, fine. Show up again the next day. But you are not allowed to miss 2 days in a row. Because once you miss 2 days in a row, then you start shaking up your system and you start falling back into old ways or falling back into old mindsets. And we don't want to fall back. We want to push forward. So pillar number 4, accountability infrastructure. Self-discipline is easier when someone knows your goals. So you need a check-in system, a weekly review, a visual scoreboard. Procrastination thrives in isolation. Execution thrives in visibility. So one thing that I like to do to kind of help keep myself accountable is having an audience like this who I know shows up for my videos, and I talk all things about consistency and stuff like that. Like, I would ruin completely my brand if I wasn't consistent, even though it would just be a really hard thing to do if I wasn't showing up online like this. But if you don't have kind of this platform, then one thing I like to do is I like to make little punch cards, and they're super popular on like TikTok right now, and I've made my own video on how I did my punch cards, which I'll link in the cards or whatever. But the punch cards are just a fun little way on how you can just keep accountable and have like that visual scoreboard of like how you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So now we are finally in part 3. But if you guys are liking this video already, don't forget to subscribe and please like, and don't forget to sign up for my email. Forgot to say that in the beginning, but to sign up for my email, I'll be sending out emails every single week, every Thursday, if you guys are interested. And then I will be starting up my sign up for the Studio of Self, which is a accountability membership group. I'm starting up on the waiting list again, so fingers crossed that I get to it this year. So let's go ahead and get to the last part of this video. So the daily anti-procrastination formula. To kill procrastination, it needs to follow it needs to follow 2 rules: clarity and simplicity. So the 3D rule. Number 1, decide the one task that moves your goal forward. The simpler the task, the better. The clearer the task, the better. So, like I said, decide that one task that you're gonna do to move the needle forward. So if losing weight is kind of what you're wanting to do, is what your one goal is, there's obviously different things you can do in order to accomplish that goal. But just keeping one simple thing that you can do consistently on a day-to-day basis is, I feel like, just moving the needle forward. So whether that is going to the gym, whether that is meal prepping every week, whether that is learning how to count calories, just kind of building up that habit of going to the gym, then maybe you could start building up the other task of like counting your calories. But we want to start small somewhere, and we want to decide which task is going to help us move forward. Move us forward is what we want to do. Number 2, do it before scrolling. Before you say, I don't have the time in the day. Before you say, I just have so much to do. Before you scroll and waste all of your freaking time doing that, go do your task. Go do what you need to do. Then you can scroll. And if you don't have time after that to not scroll, great, cool. You did what you needed to do and you didn't waste your time. And number 3, do it every day. Do your simple task every single day, whether it is something small, like I just made sure I ate at home, and that I couldn't go to the gym, but I ate at home, and I just made all my meals at home, and that's all I just could do today. Great, cool. Or if it's paying off your debt, you know, I didn't get to sticking within my budget or whatever, but I was consistent in making sure that I didn't spend money on my credit card. Studying for a test, maybe I didn't get to study for an hour, but I did make at least 1 note cards from the 100 slides that I need to study from. Do it every day. And as you get used to just kind of doing these things every single day, then you can start implementing, you know, those rest days. But what we want to keep track of is how consistent we can be, even if it's something small. So you don't need 10 hours of productivity, and you don't need the most fanciest, most amazing morning routines either. You don't need the most fanciest systems or the fanciest plans. You just need something so simple that is just broken down into 3 simple steps. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and please like, so I know to make more videos just like this one. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.